Hello, and welcome to the League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I'm here with my wonderful, beautiful co-host with beautiful Brady Pigtails, Christy Santiago.
It's me. Happy hump day. Yeah, it's pool day and smells like swimming pool. So we have pigtails today, but it does keep it up and away and off me. And I actually laid down with it earlier, and I had when you pick up, everyone has seen a 5-year-old little girl with pigtails when you drop her off at school, and then when you pick her up, what that looks like, that's what these look like a little bit earlier. I had to fix them. So yeah, I look like Stacy picked me up from school, and I had a rough one.
Ah, recess is hard.
Ah, recess is hard. It is. It is.
Yeah,
We have some urgent things to talk about, actually,
we do.
besides
But
our regular update.
before we do that,
Before,
we forgot to mention the man behind the curtain, the dude under our
well,
desk.
the dude under my desk.
You best share, Christy.
Okay, you get. We'll do shared custody every other week. How's that?
Okay,
Yes,
thank you, ma'am.
Nacha, witness,
You're too
our Lord and Savior, Lord. It is a thing. It's like living in the future and living upside down is a thing, and he does
Yeah.
exist. We hear him talk, so he's not in our heads. He's not. Oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
brought to you by the wonderful Nacha witness for sure.
true that. Oh, and so you guys know, since we're naming names, we do have a couple updates coming quite soon, in fact. Um, when exactly? I don't know, when we get everything together. But we are getting a little help from our friend Peter, who's going to go for it.
Yeah,
And yeah, you guys should be excited for what's to come.
he is gonna go for it for sure. I heard that
Yeah,
that's what he's known for,
he's
going for
yeah,
it.
he's gonna go for it. He is gonna go for it. All right, I'm
Yeah, it
gonna
is
stop.
exciting. We have some exciting updates for sure coming. I want to
We do.
share that email so bad, so I'm
No.
holding on. I
Yeah.
know I haven't. I want to.
Same.
Yeah, no, it has to be a surprise.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Enough surprises. Let's talk about the surprises that Iran has gotten recently.
Yes,
And
goodness
I mean, like, is it
gracious.
really a surprise? Is it really a surprise? I don't think so.
You know what? I do have to say, I I was surprised that Trump did it. I'm not surprised that he would. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't think within his first 6 months he would bomb a country as big and as armed as Iran. I didn't. Israel doing it? Yeah. I mean, I didn't think oh my gosh, when I heard Israel doing it. Of course they're doing it. But
well, yeah.
in hindsight, of course he did it. It's disturbing. It is disturbing. I actually have a little ditty here I thought was pretty important on the topic of Iran. Hold on, I can't close my eyes now. Okay. Oh, losing my ears.
Don't do that.
All right, much better. His glasses, then the headphones. There's
Yeah.
a method
They look good
to
together.
my. Now they're just hovering. They're not touching my nose at all. Oh, it's kind of comfortable. All right.
Yeah.
We do want to say that Trump secretly greenlit this war. And we know this because of the investigative journalism from Ken Kleppenstein. And his piece is uh it's so good, but it's also I don't know, I had to share it. He starts off saying Donald Trump is lying about almost everything regarding Israel and Iran. That's the first sentence into it. Trump knew that Israel was going to attack Iran, knew the basic outlines of the strategy, and implicitly, excuse me, the U.S. is his okay. Trump also quietly and enthusiastically embraces Israel's unstated goal of, quote, regime change, end quote. Two high level U.S. officials involved in the international discussions told Ken Klippenstein. Trump hasn't officially approved anything, hasn't committed anything to paper, and hasn't signed off on any specific act. But in the dance of phone calls and back channel messages and things said and not said, the two countries found agreement. Trump has given Israel a green light by not saying no to Netanyahu. This is the world of statecraft at the highest level, where leaders say one thing and do another. This is not only for deniability's sake or to intentionally mislead the public. It's just the way of the world that includes a set of rules and workarounds that allow leaders to never be frank with their people. There are massive risks involved in Israel's campaign and in America's implicit support, but in the ways of national security, we just don't get to discuss them. It all started during the Biden administration, the two knowledgeable insiders tell me, when Israel first pitched America on the campaign playing out now. Fearing escalation and things spinning out of control, fearing the United States getting dragged in, fearing Iranian civilian death, Biden vetoed Israel's plan. That is under the table and off the record in the shadow world of deniable diplomacy. Washington's lack of assent meant that direct action to operate outside the context of the Hamas war off the table. Instead, Israel in 2024 carried out a spate of assassinations of extremely high level adversaries. First, Israel killed Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, I think that's how you say it, in Tehran. Then they bombed an Iranian embassy building in Damascus, killing high ranking Iranian generals. Israel then carried out the devastating pager operation and killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Nobody expected these operations to be as successful as they were, which emboldened Israel. On April 1st, 2024, Iran attacked Israel in a massive and unprecedented missile and drone attack. Quietly, though, the United States military helped to defend its number one ally. The Arab states looked the other way. The Iranian attack was largely thwarted, which sources tell me came as a surplus to the US government and further emboldened Israel. Even so, Joe Biden did not want a broader war and the risk it entailed, so he kicked the can down the road to Donald Trump. None of this, of course, began in 2024. Iran and Israel have been engaged in a tit-for-tat shadow war for years, with Iran arming Hamas and other Israeli adversaries. This culminated in Hamas's October 7th attack in 2023, a traumatic event that could not have taken place without Iran's long-standing support and funding. That shadow war is what at the background of all of this. Not Iran's nuclear capabilities, the hobby horse of a Washington unwilling to deal with the reality of the decades-long war and the absence of our own policy for finding peace with Iran. What has changed since 2024 is Donald Trump. Trump has dropped the Biden administration's use of the word ironclad, to describe U.S. support for Israel. And the president openly favors better relations with the rich autocratic Arab states over Iran, of course. And yes, there's the additional factor that the president thinks he can negotiate anything and everything. He is the best dealmaker. But as he has pursued nuclear talks with Iran, he also warned of the consequences if those talks failed. Yes, Mac.
Sorry, yeah, you just said that um, Donald Trump
Best deals.
thinks that he can what now?
Best deals.
Yeah, yeah. He can score the best deals, and it's because he's convinced that his word is as gold as his toilet, and it may be as gold.
I'm like nodding. Yep, yep. I'll make. Yep. God damn it, that's true too.
Nailed it.
Damn
Nailed
it.
it.
Yeah, he
All
does.
right,
He does.
move on.
The the president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium enrichment. Vice President Vance said just this past week, and he said this repeatedly, that this would happen one of two ways: the easy way or the other way. In reality, while negotiations commenced in secret chambers involving just a handful of principal officials, Trump and his closest advisors talked about Israel's long-standing plan. That's fine.
Okay. Well, at the part where you said the president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium enrichment, um,
Right.
says JD Vance. I just want to point out, I just want to say, all right, and I think I discussed this a little bit with you guys last week, that Iran has an international right to do research and development with nuclear power.
Yes.
They use it for their power grid, and they use it for research in general. And I don't know how this, like, I don't think they have a right to make weapons with it, but I would like to make the point that countries that have nuclear weapons don't just get attacked by the
Right.
US and other nuclear powers.
That is true.
Not often, anyways. Um, and now I hate that. I really want to hesitate to say that, because I feel like it sounds like I am endorsing the idea of uh,
Right.
mutually assured
Nuclear.
destruction.
Yeah.
And where I think there probably is some credit. I mean, there's some credit to most ideas, but there's also pitfalls to most ideas. Um, so it's not that I want to endorse that. It's just like there is a point that, yeah, if they don't attack each other, because the other one can strike back with so much force. Um,
Right.
is that a deterrent? Yes, it's a deterrent. But when the deterrent fails, you do get the opposite end, or the other side of that yin yang, right? When you have
Right.
everyone carrying nukes, or most powerful states carrying nukes, you really kind of do come up against this idea of what we call a true dichotomy. And for those of
Right.
you who are friends of philosophy, a false dichotomy is a logical fallacy where you paint a situation where it is either, black and white, it's good, evil, like, true, false, right? Um, but that doesn't mean that real dichotomies don't exist, right? Like absolute darkness and light, right? That's a true dichotomy. It's one or the other. Um, and when you have mutually assured destruction, um, it's pretty close to a true dichotomy. Like if you're going to use some real brute fucking force, when one of them pull out a nuke, you best believe the other one's going to throw out a nuke, because if they don't, they're done, right? And
Yeah, they're done either way, so you might as well.
you might as well. I
At
mean,
that point.
that's what Putin
Oh,
said when
yeah.
when he said, like, if the U.S. really gets involved with Ukraine, I might just use fucking nuke. What will I have to use? And he's right, right? When you have that power, you might play with that power. Um,
Yeah.
Absolute power causes absolute what, corruption. Um,
Yep.
there's a
Corrupts
lot of things.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of things to weigh here. But I did hear, um, and I can't remember who I heard this from, but I'm sure multiple sources have said it, that Russia was considering giving Iran a nuclear bomb so they could be
Yes,
like,
he
look what we
actually
got.
said, yeah, he said that when he reached out, we have some that you can borrow
Yeah.
because
And
he understands that that power of if you had it, they're not going to do this because if Ukraine had them, Russia wouldn't have done that.
no, no, they wouldn't.
Right.
And I mean,
Mm.
look at I always forget, is it Kim Jong Un or Il? Which one's dad? Which one's son?
Right. Kim Jong Un
Un.
now,
Un.
Kim Jong Il
Un.
before.
Il
Yeah.
is was the first. Which is okay. I should
Yeah.
just remember that because Il means first in Korean.
Ah.
So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. That's why I didn't think that, but I'll remember it that way now. Um um but yeah, um they have nukes and
Yeah.
they fuck around all the goddamn time.
Yeah. They
But
do.
we don't bomb them. We don't even talk about it. I mean, Donald Trump kind of did, but it's not a usual thing that the U.S. does because they have a
Right.
legitimate deterrent. So, do I want Iran to have a nuke? I don't know. I can't just say no. I can't just say yes. Do I think that Vladimir Putin giving Iran a nuclear bomb is a good thing?
Mm.
I don't know. Like, I kind of want to
Right.
say
It's
yes,
tough.
but I also want to say no because I don't want anyone to have a nuclear bomb. It's kind of like
Yeah.
if you ask me, um, do you think guns are good, Mac? I'm like, no, I kind of hate guns. But does that mean I don't think anyone should have one? Because like, if anyone has one, I think like everyone should kind of have one. Like,
Right.
like I want to be principled, but I also want to be fair at the same time. It's kind of
Right.
fucking hard. You have to square
And
that circle.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
safe.
you want to be safe because I
Yeah,
mean, again,
it's
look,
not that you like the nuclear bombs. It's neither of us
no,
do. So we don't want
no,
anyone to have them. However, would we not go into a war if Iran had them? That's a good possibility.
yeah, that's a real possibility. And just to circle this back around to
That
things
would
that
be
we've discussed in the past, and just a good example for what we're looking at now here in the estates in the present. Um,
right.
do I want protesters to carry um,
Mm, that's good.
big guns?
Weapons. Yeah.
Um, I don't think so. But also, when the Black Panthers did it, they were shown some more respect.
Yes, they sure
So,
were.
like, again, what do we fucking do? Like, does that mean I want them to use them? No.
No.
So please, if you're someone on the right and you're saying that I think uh, I'm making the argument for protesters to carry guns, I am saying that there is an argument to be made there. And that argument doesn't mean that you want the protesters to use the guns on the either counter protesters or the police force or anything
Right.
like that. It doesn't equate. It's just like saying, do I want police force to have guns? Does that mean I want
Right.
them to use them on protesters? No.
Right.
We just don't want them to feel like they can do their jobs poorly because they will have instant backlash just like their action show, right? Like
Right.
if you're going to get exactly what you give, you tend to be careful what you dish out. It's just the way
Exactly.
of the world. And
Yeah.
it's I mean this runs down. You again, this is why it is hard to have principled politics. It is really hard, and it can go all the way down to the family, right? You don't want to hit your kids, right? Because you don't want to tell Timmy to stop hitting Kimmy because hitting is bad, and then you smack him around, right? Right? That that
Right.
that,
Stop
that
hitting your sister.
right. It is logically it's phallic, right? It's
Yeah.
it's not it's not sound to do that, but also if if child one who is hitting doesn't understand how it feels to be hit like that, sometimes you need to teach them that empathy. I've learned that through martial arts. Is like sometimes when you're teaching someone a new technique, um, or you're going back and forth with things, sometimes they'll hit too hard because they think it's fun. They think they need to add more strength. But then when you give them exactly what that they just
Mm,
dished out, they're like, "Oh, that hurts." And they're like, "Yeah, that's what
yeah,
you did to me." And they're like, "Oh," I'm just like, "Yeah." So if you want me to keep doing it like that, keep doing it like that. And they always stop,
right.
right? Like they
Bet.
calm down. Sometimes they calm down too much. I'm like, "No, you can make it hurt, but don't be a jerk about it." Right? Like
Right.
that's what
Don't
I'm saying.
like
It hurts. You can
permanently
teach me
hurt me.
no, don't permanently hurt me, but like I want it to hurt so I know that you know how to do it correctly. Again, I
Right.
teach martial arts and self defense. So I know that sometimes inflicting pain can teach a lesson, but you don't need to be brutal about it. You don't need to be a jerk about it.
Right.
You just need to
Right.
get the message across so someone else can have the empathy of what they're doing. And sometimes you need to use that in real world situations, right? So
Mm.
sometimes you can ask bouncers about this, right? Sometimes they just need to put them in enough pain compliance to get them the fuck out, but they don't need to
Right.
permanently injure someone
Right.
because then that comes back to haunt them because then they hurt someone, right?
Right.
When you do self defense past the defense part, um, now you're liable for assault. And you're not defending yourself
Right.
anymore. You are now hurting yourself. You're harming yourself instead of self defensing. It's it's a fine line, um, what self defense is in general, and that's why I like to talk about Israel and Gaza so much. But I think I mean it transfers over to the protests that we've talked about and to Iran, right? And what Iran kind of needs, if you go with an argument of what I just kind of laid out, is like they kind of do need a nuke. Look, if you're going to give us that much firepower, we can dish it back. Are you sure you fucking want to do that?
And they
Right? How
can.
and they'd be able to, and that would be terrible. I don't want them to do that. I don't think I
Right.
trust the government of Iran with most things. Right? They are a
Right. Same.
theocratic
Same.
dictatorship
Yeah.
of sorts. Um, but
Yeah. They are a theocracy and they
yeah,
are authoritarian. I
they
wouldn't
are.
say they are a dictatorship
No, they're
by
not dictators.
the like definition in the dictionary, but they have a lot of dictatorial
They have a dictatorial government,
views.
but not a
Yes,
single dictator.
it's very authoritarian from a theocratic. They have moral police. If you're not covering your hair. Listen, Iran has been
We
doing
covered the
the
women's
the
protests.
the rise
Yeah.
up. Yes, that the people, the Iranian people have been doing since America overthrew their democratically elected government and inserted the Shah, who was a dictator. Then they
Right.
overthrew their government again, and the only option they had to vote for who actually could make a difference and out, overthrow the Shah was the Ayatollah. It was this religious sect. It was this brutal dictator or a little bit more freedoms. Well, you're always going to go for a little bit more freedoms. So they're on their way, and for us to do this now, we're not going to get that rally around the flag here from the people in the US. The people, by and large, are fucking over wars. We're over it. We're overseeing our kids go and die for it. We're overseeing brown children in other countries die because they were born in the wrong place. We're over it. And so that rally around the flag is not going to happen. However, in a place that is on a teeter totter of a balance that is happening and been happening for their freedoms, and then we bomb them, you think these people who are on the verge of something aren't, they're reaching for something, and now they're going to have the actual rally around the flag thing happen in Iran, and that is not what we wanted. It's not smart. I did have just a little bit more of.
I would like to just wrap up what I just because like that
Mhm.
turned into a whole discussion.
Yeah.
Um, and
It's fine.
yeah, and then I'll like lead you right off to where um, you, you ended off because the thing that triggered all of that for me was when JD Vance was quoted in this article, which I pulled up and I just linked to Nacho, so he knows where you guys can find it. The president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium in enrichment, and he repeatedly said this would happen one of two ways: the easy way or the other way. Now,
Right.
just so you guys know, all of that boils down to is that we are the US, we are the cops of the world,
Yep.
and we say you can't enrich uranium
Ah,
for maybe any reason, but especially not for weapons.
right.
Because we make the rules and we say so. We don't feel comfortable with you having nuclear power. So therefore,
Mm,
you cannot have it. But this is imperialism. This is control over someone else's fucking nation. That's the
yeah.
biggest issue that I have with this is that Iran isn't our fucking country. They're not our ally. I know they're kind of adversaries, but just because you're not friends with someone doesn't mean that you get control over them because you don't like the way that they do
Right.
business. Right? Now, I
Especially you
think,
shouldn't have control over them, especially if you don't like them.
right.
That's,
That's
you know,
why
how
we have
abuse happens.
international laws. That's why
Yeah.
we have international communities. So more people can go in and help with situations like that than just one country at a time. Um, should we stay out of more of it? Maybe. That's a greater discussion. But the goal was to get right back on track to this. So there. You left with
Good
a
job.
or you read the next in reality, but so I don't know if you want to reread that part or move on.
Yeah, I did. A hint of these discussions appeared this past weekend when Trump told the Wall Street Journal that his team had foreknowledge of Israel's plan, of course, to bomb Iran. The lesson Israel took from 2024 is that Iran might be able to bloody its nose, but not destroy it or the region. Not now, anyway. Israel also assesses that its many attacks on Iran proxies, the emergence of the new Syrian regime, the failure of the nuclear talks, and of course, its precise intelligence on Iran's leadership makes this the best moment to act. Quote, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran, Trump blurted out this past week. His use of the word we tell that he is fully behind Israel. It will take a while for the military and the bureaucracy, and of course Congress, to catch up, as usual. The news media will be filled with stories about the contradictions of this and that, about how close Iran was or wasn't to acquiring a nuclear weapon, about World War III, and how toppling the Iranian regime is just the next Iraq or Libya, right up until it happens, whatever it will be. And then
Yeah,
there's just one more piece after that. Go ahead.
yeah. We're really close to the end. I'm sorry I keep butting in, but I just think it's so important. I think that Tehran. I think that Iran should blast every drone and ship out of their skies. Like if it's ours or if it's Israel's, because that's what we would do.
Right,
I
that's
don't want
exactly what we would do.
I don't want Chinese drones or air balloons even, right? Um, or ships flying over our skies, over freaking Columbus,
Right.
Ohio, or over DC, right? Like that would be outrageous. Like if we shot down an Iranian plane over DC, or let's just say New York, or fucking Nashville. Say Nashville, right? There's nothing too
Oh,
important,
yeah.
like government wise, over in Nashville. Be like, what the fuck was it doing here? Like, why would it be over our country? Like, fuck off,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
again, I'm not a huge fan of Iran, but I am defending them in this conflict. But if they be in our fucking skies, yeah, fucking shoot them down. Even today, right? Like, I mean, I I don't like what the U.S. and Israel are doing to them right now. But if even if they show up just to counter what has been done to them already, and they fly to Washington, we should shoot their shit out of the sky. So if
Of
they're saying that
course.
they have total control over Iranian sky, Iran should blast every fucking thing out of the sky. That's their fucking skies. That's
Exactly.
their fucking space. So
Yep.
again, just staying principled with our politics here.
Yeah.
I have to root for the other side right now,
Right.
but I can't change my argument when it comes back over here.
I mean, if
It's important. I
someone
feel like it's
came
so
into
important to point that shit
to
out.
to our airspace and decided they didn't want us to have the capabilities of whatever it might be, so they blew up all the plants wherever that was being manufactured, that
Yeah,
would be an act of war.
would
So
it would
yeah,
and you know if a leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard came out tomorrow and said that we control the airspace of New York City, not only would I say yeah New York City or the federal government should blast those
right.
jets or drones out of the sky, I would come out and say, do you know how fucking stupid the Iranian Revolutionary Guard has to be to
Right.
not only try or succeed in taking airspace over a U.S. city or
Right.
state? That is suicidal. That is retarded. That is
As it
dumb.
should be
Like they are
for
praying
everybody.
for Allah to rain down holy fucking hell on over their state if they do something like that. But if I
Yeah,
say
they are.
that on the other side, I'm a T sympathizer. I don't want to say the
Of
word.
course.
Huh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, I get it.
yeah, because I'm not. I just want to be principled with the way that I think about war and politics. It's not fucking rocket scientists. So I'm sorry.
No,
Everyone
it's not.
should
It's not.
evacuate Tehran,
Yes.
Trump said Monday.
Yes.
I'm following along with you today, Christy.
Yay.
Good job.
Yes, the President Trump of the United States of America told the sovereign country's capital that they should all evacuate. That we're not
And
at
10
war with.
million people, 10 million people
Yeah,
that
it's
Ted Cruz
insane.
learned from Tucker Carlson
Oh
in
yeah,
that
I know. I
in
watched
that
that too.
capital.
Oh, if you have to learn about Iran from Tucker Carlson, your life has gone
Fuck.
wrong way before that day.
Lost.
Yeah,
You
God.
you're a loser.
And if Tucker Carlson knows more than you on Iran, you need to reevaluate your life
And
situation.
he prepared for that. He prepared like Tucker Carlson is a piece of shit, but he's good at his job. He's good at
Yeah,
his
he
job
is.
because he is a piece of shit. He's a slimy little shit, just like Ted Cruz. But he's better
Yeah,
than Ted Cruz at his fucking
yes,
job. So,
yeah,
anyways, that was funny.
yeah. Okay, everyone should evacuate Tehran, Trump said Monday. President Trump has been unusually tight-lipped about Israel's military campaign. Asked Monday about the possibility of regime change, the normally loquacious Trump said simply, quote, I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens, end quote. They didn't have one, so what is he doing, right? Pressed further at the G7 before the president walked out, of course, about what he knew, he answered totally out of character that he didn't want to talk about that. Israel has not yet officially said that its goal is regime change, which I don't know why Ken Klippenstein said that right here, because yes, they have. That's part of the game as well. But with much of Iran's military leadership eliminated in a lightning fast series of strikes since Friday, Israel's objectives clearly extend beyond just halting their nuclear program. According to the IDF, as of yesterday, Israel has struck more than 865 targets, really aim points at targets, not targets themselves. The IDF says that 20 plus senior military commanders have been eliminated, which means murder. Israel is also attacking Iranian missile launchers, and it says it has already eliminated 120, a third of Iran's force. Aware of Israel's desire to mount a stronger attack, Trump publicly said that he wanted 60 days to negotiate with Iran. Quote, I had 60 days and they had 60 days. And on the 61st day, I said, We don't have a deal, Trump said during a press conference yesterday. Israel didn't ask. Trump didn't say no. Israel waited and prepared even more, timing the execution of its campaign for precisely when the talks faltered. By laying out a deadline like that, Trump was signaling to Israel without explicitly saying so that the United States would then not oppose Israel launching their own military campaign. In discussions with the uninformed military at the highest level, I'm told only a half dozen generals were involved in the discussion. Everyone agreed that it was wise to keep the United States at arm's length from Iran's reprisal in order to best serve United States interests. Trump also did not want to antagonize his Arab friends like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, who have publicly come out in support of Iran. The desire to minimize blowback on America is clear in the Trump administration's public messaging. Secretary of State Marco Rubio issued a brief statement on Thursday saying little more than that Israel's action was unilateral and that, quote, we are not involved in strikes against Iran, end quote. The statement closes with a warning, quote, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel, end quote. The president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our militaries focused on protecting our troops and protecting our citizens, Vance then said. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president, which it doesn't by law. Indeed, it does. And that decision is formulating as Trump works himself into a lather. Quote, unconstitutional surrender, Trump posted today, all caps and all in, at least for now. It is a hellish world when this dance of careful worded statements, obfuscation, and even denial reign supreme. Trump, Vance, and Rubio are all lying. But then that's the strategy. Ken Clevenstein, round of applause. He's been killing it with his investigative journalism. I wish that they would let him go into the press every day and ask a few questions because it would be the ones that need answered.
No
And
shit.
I I thought he really put a little bit of everything that happened with Iran and did it from a logical viewpoint of someone who's informed, and I appreciate that.
You know, I I I can only hope in a perfect world, like in the universe where we got Bernie Sanders and AOC as like president, vice president. Either fucking way, I don't want whatever.
Right?
Best examples I could think
Same.
of, and they change around the fucking press room, um, just like the Trump administration did. But we throw a bunch of
Yeah.
fucking leftists in there, and then we keep some fucking right wingers. Like we
Of
can have
course.
fucking Matt Walsh and Kyle Kalinske, and
Yes. Yes.
and
As it should
fucking
be.
yeah, yeah, like have fucking Ben Shapiro,
But they
and
also should have the credentials, whether they earn them through school or earn them by doing the job.
yeah,
Some people are just good journalists. They didn't have to go to journalism school. They're just excellent at it. But they
yeah,
have the bona fides to be in there because some of these people are literal ball ticklers. Like they're in there
yeah.
to coddle and gargle, and it's just, can we know Trump's workout regimen? He's looking better than he ever has before. I'm like, there is war going on. What the fuck are
Are
you
you fucking
talking
serious?
about?
Like, why is this even like
Why is
an
this the
an,
thing? Yeah,
an article? Um, like if like Arnold Schwarzenegger was like tickling Trump's nutsack and saying something like that, that
yeah,
makes sense because
Arnold.
he's all about working out and like bods, but it's not him, right? It's just like a
Right.
right wing rag. Um,
Yes.
it's it's topsy turvy.
New
It's
media
upside
is
down.
what is what Levitt and Trump are
New
calling it. Their
media.
new media. And some of them are just TikTokers, and hey, that's cool. I like some TikTokers. They're really good
Yeah,
investigative journalists, but they're not
yeah,
bringing in the ones who are really good investigative journalists who
ball
are
ticklers.
speaking truth to power. That's not who is
Just ball
being brought
ticklers.
in. Just the
Yeah.
ball
Um,
ticklers.
yeah. So I don't like it, and I've said this a few times, and it's not to like pat myself on the back like I did about breakfast to Christine Nacha before we started the show,
Hey,
because
that
I
looked
made a
yummy though.
damn good breakfast. It was
It looked yummy.
fucking tacular, and I'm no chef, but
You could
I'm
be.
I'm not I'm not I don't have the bona fides to be in that press room, and I don't have the bona fides to be fucking president of the United States. What I fucking hate is that I would make a better president than the one that's in office right now,
Yeah,
and that
it's sad.
I would make a better journalist than over half of the people
Yeah, like
that
yeah,
show up to
80% of those.
to those those press hearings. It's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. I don't
It's hard to
I
watch.
don't want to. I don't want to be better than them. Right? I would just ask better questions. I'd probably take worse notes than they. I'm a terrible note taker. I would have to record it on my phone. Like, hey, I have a question. Give me your answer. Because like I can't make big fucking notes. I'm terrible at it. But um, it's just bullshit. Like the bar's so low that Joe Schmo over here can do a better job than half the politicians or
Mhm.
the people asked, like holding their feet to the fire. I'm not that good, right? It's kind of like what Kyle Kalinske says all of the goddamn time. Where he's like, I'm just a dude that's like screaming in his house, like basically what I was
Right?
doing almost, right? He's like I make bird jokes, but like at a low like Kyle has a a degree in political science. I have a
Yeah.
degree in nothing. I can make French toast with sausage on
Uh,
it,
with hot dog buns and
with
sausage.
hot
Yeah.
dog
It
buns.
looked really yummy.
It was really good. It was really good, but I'm no chef, right? And if all the chefs couldn't make that, and I was the best one around, I'd be like, wow, something's fucking wrong with our educational system or the way that we make breakfast. It's fucked. That's what it is. It's
Yeah,
all
we're
fucked.
so fucked. We're
Yeah.
so cooked right
So,
now.
yeah, that is a
Yeah.
great place to leave this topic unless you have anything
Yes,
else
it
to
is. 100% cooked in the sauce.
add. It's
Stir
good.
it up.
All right. All right. Until the next breakfast, stay humanist.
Yeah. Regardless things.